Blah, blah, blah. Test words, test, test. Ah, hello everyone. Oh, I've had a morning. Yep, I've had a grand total of like an hour's sleep. This ain't fair. I'm gonna run through my last 24 hours before I do the announcing bit because woke up at like 7 a.m. yesterday morning to take all. So I could hear myself echoing back. That's fun. Uh, there we go. Yeah. Went to the vets at 7 in the morning yesterday. Had a bunch of work stuff to do yesterday. Didn't get to have any sleep before various work things early this morning, so I'm now running on like an hour of sleep. It'll be fine. It's all good. It's okay. Grim means well. All is good. And thank you very much, Helen, for being a channel member. But we do have the big announcement thing, and I'll be honest, it's one that I'm very, very much looking forward to being able to talk about because it's one that I've been very, very quiet about for an extended period of time now. So, before we do, any theories in the chat as to what is actually happening here, and not from the likes of Leeds Lately or Imagine Not Being Leeds, because these guys are somewhat involved on the big thing, which is very good fun. It's a good time. So just let me know what you guys are theorizing, and then we'll find out. This better be good. Oh, I've been working so damn hard. You also know the thing. No. Lots of potatoes. There might be potatoes. I can't be 100% certain. It's hard to say. But we'll have to find out, won't we? I think you might have a theory. Yeah. Sunday dinner. I do have a Sunday dinner planned for later. That's after my next work shift, which is at like 2:45. Fantastic. Lovely. Is it promotion party plans? Imagine if it was promotion party plans. I'm really, really looking forward to them being potential promotion party plans. There's a lot of P's there. Hello, Black Wedge. How's it going? Going into a studio like Arsenal Fan TV, I think you vastly overestimate the amount of money that YouTube pays. The announcement is that Joe is getting kebabs. I would like to get kebabs. If you guys can offer kebabs, that would be absolutely wonderful. And Imagine Not Being Leeds is still having a think on it. So I'm just going to play a very quick short video as to explaining what the thing is, and then we're going to talk through everything, and then we'll do a little bit of a Q&A thing, and then everyone will have learned a little bit more. Does that sound good to everyone? I hope so, because if not, you're going to have to deal with it. Hopefully this works, because if it doesn't, I'm going to scream. The Leeds Creator Cup. All your favourites, one pitch, one prize. We're all in. Join us. It is the Leeds Creator Cup, something that I have been working on since approximately October. Now, you might think this means literally nothing to me because I've never heard these words before. To sum it up for you, the Leeds Creator Cup, I've done a nice little graphic down here as well and everything, it's fan-debby-dozy, is a pretty damn big thing that I've been working on for an extended period of time now. I'm going to have a look at the tweet that I just did. On that note, if you're one of the creators that's in the chat to say hello, I've done a tweet on it. And I'll just give it a read. It's time to do it on the pitch. On the 20th of July 2025, at John Charles Centre for Sport, Leeds United creators will be assembling to play in the Leeds Creator Cup, a charity football event for Prostate Cancer UK, to prove they can get it done on the pitch. After all, there's no point us saying all this stuff about various footballers being good or bad or somewhere in the middle and not actually being able to do anything about it ourselves. We are hoping for a big crowd, ideally, both online and in person. The idea is if we can get it to all work out to get an actual broadcast going so everyone can give it a watch, even if you're not in Leeds, even if you can't get to Leeds, and to make a very big difference for Prostate Cancer UK. That final tweet has gotten very, very balked, so I'm going to have to fix that one immediately. Oh, good. Let's just delete that one. Yep. Okay, let's fix it. Oh, I tried so hard. Let's fix it. There we are. And then we'll go enter, enter. Bosh. Cool. That should do it. Maybe later. Right. So that's what the Leeds Creator Cup is. It's a big old charity match with 2 captains who will pick their teams, and they will fight it out for the Leeds Creator Cup. There is an actual trophy. I've gone as far already to sort out actual trophies, which is absolutely spectacular. I'm really, really looking forward to it because it's a really nice looking, pretty trophy. It's a very, very big charity match, and you might ask sort of what's going on with the people that are actually in it, and there's quite a few of them. I'm going to keep an eye on various bits and bats in the chat at the same time, which is hopefully going to be quite fun. I'm giving Alan Partridge vibes. Thank you. I appreciate that. He's significantly wealthier than I am. Tournament on FIFA? Absolutely not. No. This is going to be high effort. And the conversations I'm having right now are... I've written a script for a show already, for an idea of how prepared we're going to be for this entire thing. Nalp is loving the idea of it. Not 5-a-side. We are going full-on 11v11. Hopefully it will go absolutely spectacularly. I don't know if you had heard the John Charles Centre for Sport bit by this point, which would be... We'll see. Leeds Creator Cup Championship. It'll be one side again. We don't know this because we don't know what the teams are. And thank you very much, Leeds Lately. So I'll go through some more of the various details and bits and bobs and stuff like that. So some further questions that people are likely to have include... That's a comment that I can't get rid of. There we go. It's for Prostate Cancer UK. I always forgot what sort of media assets I had set up here, but we'll go through them. And potentially for the Leeds United Foundation. We've been having some conversations with them to sort of see if they can help out with bits and bobs. I've had a few chats with the club, which is also very, very useful and helpful, and to have them on board will be absolutely fantastic because that'll really help us get a little bit of momentum with this. And yeah, it's on the 20th of July. We've got the date all sorted out, and we have many, many people involved. Again, I don't know why that one's showing again. But in terms of who we have on board, I imagine a lot of people weren't expecting the size and scale of the people that I've reached out to and that have been able to be part of conversations and have at the very least said that they very much want to be there. There's a couple of people who will logistically maybe struggle just because that's the nature of how things work. But the list at the moment, and let's just jank with the camera so I can land on the right side of this particular page, includes the Just Show Football Show, Leeds United The View, One Leeds Fan Channel, The Square Ball, Leeds Lately, Or To Know Better, Not Another Leeds Podcast, Ollie Ward, JT Live, City of Leeds Fans, The Leeds Therapy, Imagine Not Being Leeds Only, Leeds Bros, Discourse of Peacocks, All Leeds TV, Rocco Dean, LUFC Lewis, Joe Blackburn, and more. Because this is a thing that I don't want to be limited by the people that are going to be present. If there is anyone that is not on this list that you think could be or should be on this list, let me know. Reach out to me. Tell me about it. Because the more people that we can have as part of this big conversation and this big event, the better. Because I think this could be a very big thing. I think it could be, if it all works out, an annual thing that people look forward to and love to do, and it can grow and grow and grow. It's just about getting there. So what will the day look like? It'll look pretty damn good. At least I hope so. I've planned out various things in terms of the broadcast itself. I've got a full run of show program written out in terms of when you're present at the stadium itself. The idea is having a bunch of vendors present, having all sorts of stuff for people to do just throughout the day. It's not just going to be a show up, watch a game of football, go home. The idea is to bring the entire community together, because things are significantly better when we do them together as a big group that is raising money for a genuinely spectacular cause. How can you watch? Is a question that a lot of people are going to have at the same time, and there's going to be plenty of ways. So the main ideal way for people to do so, we kind of want to see if we can get people in the stadium. We've got the stadium booked. We might as well use it. If you can't get there, which is completely understandable, I'll be running a stream at the very least on my YouTube channel. I'm talking to a bunch of production-y people to see what we can do in terms of where we can stream it and how we can stream it and all of those logistics. Those are conversations that are far too technical for my boss. But at the very least, there will be a stream for people to watch. We have commentary agreed already in terms of Evie will be doing a significant proportion of the commentary hosting bits. Going to reach out to a few more people. We'll be doing live interviews, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully it will all work out spectacularly. But a question that a lot of people might have is, how can you help us out? Which is a very, very fair question, because it's very loosey-goosey. It's a very difficult chat to have, because I will be completely honest with you, and one of the main sort of pillar stones of this event is we're going to be transparent with absolutely everything, with costings and sponsors and what we're doing for what sponsor and all that sort of thing. The way that you can help us out at the moment is either by donating, which would be absolutely wonderful. I've not got a donation link set up quite yet. That'll be in the next few days, I imagine. But if you have the capacity to do so, or you are a part of a bigger company, or there are people that you can talk to that will be able to make a sponsorship on this event happen, that would be absolutely huge for pushing this entire thing forwards. If you are able to support that in any way, shape, or form, and make sure that this thing is able to get off the ground in the biggest way possible, because I'll be completely clear, we've got the funding right now to have the event, which is great because we've got the stadium. Brilliant. That's how you get the ball initially rolling. But it's the question of beyond that, how do we get the best broadcast possible, make it the best viewing experience, and make it have a platform where it can fundraise as much as feasibly possible? That is where it will make the difference. And that's where we need sponsors on board. And in terms of getting sponsors on board, I'm going to very quickly share a spreadsheet that I've been working on. And this thing is the bane of my existence at the minute. I just need to quickly find it. Where did I put it? This is in the wrong OneDrive. Well done, me. Pinged it to Evie the other day, didn't I? There we go. Let's get you open. So this is one of the many, many, many tabs of spreadsheet that I'm already working with. And for an idea of how genuinely organized this thing is going to be, keep in mind this event is not for another 4.5 months, but we already have a firm running order, run of show in place with, at the very least, 3 big set sponsored integration chunks that will absolutely put brands at the heart of things, but make sure that it's not whilst leaving the event itself behind. This is what I do for a job. So if you are someone that is a little bit concerned about, well, what if he doesn't know what he's doing? I am paid to do this. Not this, but I'm paid to do the equivalent of this on like global sporting events, including at the moment the Club World Cup. So if you have any doubts over organization, I will happily talk through all of that. But if you want to sponsor anything for your company to try and help to increase your corporate social responsibility, all that kind of stuff, this is the perfect event for this coming up summer. This summer coming up. There we go. Thanks, Bray. And yeah, beyond that, have I checked that one? I have done. I lost an overlay for a moment there. But that leaves one more question before I'm going to do a big old Q&A thing. Are you in? Because we've got a heck of a lot of people that are in, that are up for playing and coaching and commentating and taking part on the day. But are you in? And that's what counts. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop over to this one again. And I'm going to do a bunch of questions, and I'm going to answer as many questions as can possibly be had, because that will absolutely do what we can to answer things. When is this starting? This is going to be on the 20th of July this year. I'm getting it announced as early as possible so we can have those bigger conversations with various sort of potential sponsors and things, because we've reached out to a few people at the moment, and that's fantastic. And we've gotten like core funding for the basic things, but we're announcing so early so people know that there is a big thing happening, and it is definitely happening, because it's quite hard to market something that is in the ether and doesn't necessarily exist quite yet. So who knows? Can we get an away day on the team? How do you mean? If by this you mean away days of Ellis Platten, if anyone wants to tag Ellis Platten with this announcement/video, that would be absolutely spectacular. But I hope so. That would be absolutely wonderful. I did ping him an email, but I think I may have gotten lost in various folders because admittedly I did things a little bit wrong. So no kebabs. Maybe kebabs. It depends on who the sponsors are, which is a fairly big question mark. It'll be at the John Charles Centre, which I'm gonna pull up an image of in a minute as well. I'm gonna have to get the dog ready to go out. So that is going to be another adventure. Okay, I'll use an image from a rugby league day. So if I open the image in a new tab, zoom in a touch, bish, bash, bosh, share this tab instead. And this is what we're working with. Big ol' stand, which hopefully we get as many people as possible to fill up. That'd be absolutely spectacular. And I'm going to keep on pushing this. I'm absolutely going to keep on pushing this until the day itself, because it's a damn good cause. And we've got seating for over 1,000 people. So hopefully you guys are in the same way as Hill Football, No Pironi Party, as Only Leeds Bros, as Leeds Lately, as Wilco Whites. You can also come along if you fancy. And just, yeah, hop along, be a part of it. We've not worked out like any sort of like ticketing prices or that sort of thing yet, because that is something that is a little bit down the line. But all of that will also be going to charity. And yeah, hopefully this magnificent beast we can fill with as many Leeds fans as feasibly possible, and things will be absolutely spectacular. If that is the case, we're going to be looking very, very good. But as usual, we're going to be answering as many questions as possible about this thing, because I don't know. What time does it start? This is where we're going to get into the specifics of why I did a spreadsheet, because I could smell questions like this one coming from a mile off. Current plan is for the non-involved folks. The broadcast itself will start at about 12:30 is what we're looking at, with the match potentially kicking off at 1 o'clock. Is the current look. Again, I'll be talking with various production-y people. We've got the stadium from 10 till about 6 probably, if we're able to have those conversations. But yeah, in terms of what we're doing with it, you can probably rock up at any time of day, and also happy to accept volunteers that are happy to do various bits and bobs, because that will make everything so much smoother. Where are the corporate seats? This is a good question, because I don't know if there are any. There probably aren't. But there's no, wait, hold on. There were some nice squishy ones when I went on the stadium tour a month ago, which is good. How much are the tickets and where can we buy them? You can't yet. And again, thus undecided. We'll get there though. Time to show my 200th of my Brazilian Jogo Bonito heritage. You should do. It'd be great. To any of the content creative people that said that they might be about in a minute, that would be appreciated if you could, because I will need to get a dog ready to leave the house. So just hop on in if you want. You've all got the link, because, and this is a thing that I've had to keep very, very quiet, because I was like, I don't know how this has worked out. There is currently a group chat with like as many Leeds YouTubers as I could possibly get the WhatsApp numbers together for. And this morning I sat and looked at it and I was like, there's a lot of people in here. This is great. There's like the entire automobile lot. There's not another Leeds podcast. There's only Leeds Bros. There's Joe. There's Joe. There's on that note, Joe is, and I am being very, very clear about this one. Availability is a question mark, but we're very much pushing forward with the intention of we're very much hoping that he can be there. Someone noted on the comments of the first like glitch video that I did, which that was a fun like little social media thing to put together. I was like, how do you do a social media campaign? I don't know. But someone asked, Joe isn't on this. It's a bit weird that he's not. That's because we don't want to advertise people that can't be there. Same is the case for Andrea, as you can probably understand. Being in Italy makes things a little bit difficult. You're doing any charity with it? It is going to be for Prostate Cancer UK and potentially the Leeds United Foundation. One of the OKB lads has been helping with those sort of discussions. Got a ref? Not yet. This is one of the things. I have a whiteboard right there that has just the costings of things and what needs to get sorted. A ref is definitely on the list. Is Lucky Leeds going to be there? He absolutely is going to be there, or is at the very least on the list of people that are like, I'm going to be there, but we can't litigate for things like injuries. Those are just going to happen from time to time. I've got a referee in mind. It's a very, very nice Scottish bloke that does my 7-a-side league on Mondays, but does like actual 11-a-side stuff as well. He's like a proper FA linked referee guy. And I've got some very fun ideas for refereeing stuff, but we'll get into that later on. Where were we? I'm a bit lost. It might have been like a month ago, something like that. Will it be there? I hope not, because my God, what we don't need is things that will make the amount that production is going to cost even bigger, because they've not gotten back to me with a specific quote quite yet. But I feel like the number isn't necessarily going to be small. Lucky is, I believe I've covered that one now. Imagine Andre turning up and people thinking it'd be Stroke. It'd be wonderful. I'd love that. That'd be incredible. Just turns up and it's just like, I am suddenly the best centre back here on the plan. Yeah, we know, because you look that much like Pascal Stroke. Will the special guest like players from Leeds United? Do not know. Is the answer to that one. The fun part about having almost all of the Leeds YouTubers, and right, I'm gonna like be out and clear about this, because I feel like someone is going to ask the question anyway, so I'm going to get ahead of it before anyone does. The reason that KG isn't on the list is because I have no means through which to ask KG, because I've DM'd him on Twitter before. He didn't get back to me, so I've not followed up on that route. And I was going to comment in his YouTube comments. I cannot. So if anyone would like to ask that question or point him in my direction, that would be fantastic, because I want to sort of unify everyone and not let any sort of individual like squabbles or anything disrupt, because it's not worth it. But hopefully, yes, there'll be some special guests, because we've got people from all over the Leeds fan spectrum, and everyone's got their own little links to people. So, for example, I'm working on a thing that I would like to get verified before I go ahead with, that is going to be very, very good as a like fundraising side of things. If we can keep that going, that would be lovely. And there's many, many people that can ask many, many questions of many, many people. Will there be assistant refs? I've got no idea. You do drip with... I drip with centre-back energy. How dare you? How dare you, sir? Disgusting. Wouldn't be surprised if Chris Moore turned up for Joe. That'd be fantastic. Chris, if you fancy doing some on the side hosting / commentary work, I've already got you a co-worker, and it'd be absolutely lovely, I'm sure. It'd be a nice time. It'd be a good vibe. The thing with the square ball, on behalf of this event. The thing with the square ball is I've had a chat with a couple of people from the square ball who've said they're interested. I've not managed to like chase it as far as I would like to chase it, but they're in the Joe territory. of availability is question mark, but I got an initial conversation that was like, yeah, but who knows? A women YouTubers playing as well like Soccer Aid. That's entirely up to them. I've heard before that it makes getting a match insured a complete nightmare. The only person that I've had that conversation with is Evie, who very specifically said, I would like to do commentary instead. But I'm not going to stop anyone from playing. I'm just going to try and sensible things. Nige. What you have missed is the thing that has been teased for quite some time now, which is that's the wrong one. The Leeds Creator Cup, a charity match that is happening on the 20th of July up at the John Charles Centre for Sport, the big old stadium that's got one stand on it, where Leeds United YouTubers will be facing off in a battle of wits, body and mind, and also footballs, to see who's best and see who takes home the Leeds Creator Cup, which is hopefully going to be a very, very exciting day. It's all for Prostate Cancer UK, potentially the Leeds United Foundation as well, and it should be a good day. Idea is to get it broadcast on YouTube and for people that are there in person. If it's unable to happen in terms of the broadcast, then that's a shame. That will tell you that it's basically dependent on sponsors because things cost money. And yeah, ultimately, we'll find out. I wonder if Grimsby about Alex from American Leeds will turn up as a surprise guest all that bit. Yeah, this is the thing, because flights are not cheap, which is going to add to costs and costs and costs and costs, which is not what we want, because we don't want people like putting themselves out financially for it. We can always try and work out something that's a little bit more effective than that. Sounds brilliant. I'll go ticket prices. This is the point where we've got a question mark. That isn't fully arranged yet. It will not be ridiculous piss take money. Absolutely promise you that. It's a question of what the feasible sort of price point is. I'm not sure whether we'll go with this is how much a ticket costs or you're in, what's your voluntary donation, purely because some people are potentially likely to go, oh, cool, I can just watch this and not donate, which is not great for the charities. And then at the same time, you've got some people that would get the price of a ticket and then potentially not donate more when they happily would. So if someone would happily chuck like 25 quid to it, but you've put a ticket price of a tenner, are they going to make that £15 back? And that's the sort of, it's annoying little behind the scenes stuff. But no, not £50 per ticket. That's not the sort of goal that we're aiming for. That feels like that could be an issue. I live in Grimsby. What's the crack? I'm not going to make the joke because I'm announcing a charity event. But yeah, it's a big old football event. And you got to come over, Jim. Reach out to Adonis from the Roaring Peacocks podcast, Great Bunch of Lads. I may do so. I will have to jot that one down. Important note as well that I'm going to put in the description of this video. If anyone has any interest at all in sponsorship stuff, in helping with the event, in contributing in any way, shape, or form, we do, in fact, have an email address that I specifically made this morning, because it turns out that it's quite difficult to get people to be like, yeah, this looks like a professional email address, when it's jdblackburn42@outlook.com. On the other hand, leedscreatorcup@outlook.com is significantly better, and I'm not changing it. I quite like using Outlook. It's good stuff. But we have one of the players, at the very least, attending the Leeds Creator Cup in the StreamYard with us now. You're right, Max. I should have added you. It didn't. There we go.
Sorry, I'm just practicing now for when I win.
Practicing for the trophy lift. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
You got to, haven't you?
You just have to, because if you don't, like, you're not going to be. You don't know how heavy it's going to be. The fun part is, I'm going to have this trophy for an extended period of time. I might even replace Fez wearing Karl Marx with the trophy for a good while. And
You
then
could just
we've got.
pretend that you've won it.
I'll pretend that I've won it. I'm not gonna get any like pretend beef going with you just yet because I don't know whether I need to have pretend beef with you just yet or I need to
You
be
might be on the
friendly
same
with you
team.
just yet. We might be on the same team.
You might be beefing me, and then someone's like, "Hold on a second.
Hold on.
They're playing
Wait,
next to each other."
you're the left winger and you're the left back. You should not be doing this. But then you're like, yeah, well, Jesse Marsh era. You never know.
I mean, realistically, I don't think either of us will be left winger or left back, but
I don't know.
I mean,
Where's that?
maybe. I'm right-footed.
I'm
inverted
in a
wingers
weird spot,
are
right?
a popular thing nowadays, but
They are.
not sure.
So I'll
I've got
go
that
left back.
mental
You
bag.
can go left wing. You can cut inside. I'll just go. My guy just gave his email out. I kind of gave the email out. I gave out the email of the big thing. It is a very, very specific email for everything that I momentarily forgot the password for. So I'm gonna send that to you, Max. And if I forget it, shout at me.
Okay, sounds fun.
But it should be a very, very memorable one, I imagine. If I forget that, I'm gonna feel weird. But it should be okay. That's not going to happen. I've never two-footed anyone in my life. I do not have the build to two-foot someone. If I were to try, I would break my own legs. Any lads from Square Ball? Have chatted with at least 2 of the Square Ball lads. I'm not going to say who, but got positive interest from them. I just need to further ask follow-up questions, and I would also like to note that if they are unable to make it, that will not be their fault, because they are doing a charity walk of their own this summer. I don't know if the details on that one are public, but I can imagine people being quite injured. Because
they could finish the walk at the John Charles Centre for Sport and walk straight onto a football pitch and start playing.
Yeah, that'd work. That feels like no health issues there.
Kicking a football.
Oh god, yeah. After what the feet looked like over the last Square Ball charity walks, I feel like it's not going to be the wisest of ideas to double. This is why I've left like a gap between them.
Yeah,
because I know that both me and Joe Wainman have like at least signed up to potentially do this charity walk. So it's a case of right, okay, if we do the walk, we got a month to recover, and then we're going to start kicking people.
Yeah.
Which hopefully is going to turn out okay. It could be held at Garforth Town Stadium. We used to hold Leeds ladies games there. It could be held at Garforth Town Stadium. However, I kind of felt like when organising it and booking venues and stuff, it made a little bit more sense to sort of. It's literally called John Charles. Like, it's just there's too much of a link there to ignore, I think, and yeah, that makes sense, right? That's not me going, oh, I've seen a thing that I know. Let's go for it.
No, it's a perfectly good location for the game, definitely.
There was also the side of it where I'm just going to have a look at Garforth Town Stadium just to make sure I'm not accidentally slandering Garforth. Yes. So I did have a look at Garforth Town Stadium. There were many, many, many stadiums that I did look at, and we also got to a situation in which we were sort of asking the question of, if we can't get a stadium, do we just play a 5-a-side tournament? But in the end, we were able to get the place that had, I think, a slightly bigger attendance, or at least capacity, than Garforth, in addition to having some genuinely quite solid like network facilities and a commentary box. This was the fun part. It's got a commentary box. You've got no idea how excited I am for that. It's great. I'm not even doing the commentary, but I'm just like, cool, I'm not going to freeze someone to death. This is a really good start.
You can walk in there prior to the game and go, oh, look, commentary box.
Oh, look. It's very nice. But if anyone has any further questions, chuck them in the chat, because I accept that this is one of those things that is going to be very open, that is many, many question marks. I've just realized I didn't save the changes to the stream. So that email wasn't there quite yet. but it should be now. So if people want to ping an email there, go for it. I missed loads. Did I? No. Wait, you're on about Jim. Someone's missed something. I don't know if I've missed anything. I imagine have you been present from the start? And if yes, have I missed anything incredibly stupid?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been there from the start. I walked to the co-op, got some butter and toothpaste, walked home again whilst having you on rocking around the co-op, listening to the stream, putting little comments in. I don't think you've missed anything so far, especially not off the important information. I don't think there's anything specifically that you've missed. I'm just looking forward to it. I need to get running some more. I've done a few runs in the last couple of weeks, and I need to keep going with it until I gain some sort of level of fitness.
Yeah, I think the general sort of gist and idea is, if you do, you might be at risk of a booking, and I've got a fun plan for what we're doing with bookings, because that could spice things up a little bit. And Max is the one person that I've told my half idea that I've got for yellow cards, which I think is quite exciting. But I've not discussed anything with anyone yet, so you don't want to get a yellow card for excessive celebration. That's all I'm going to say. Great Stadium choice not far from Ellen Road and the M621. This was sort of the thinking, because I'm going to address this one beforehand. This is how we kill half of Leeds United YouTube.
Yeah, then we can scoop up all the remaining subscribers.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, this is where you just sort of go into it and you're like, right, okay, how do we sabotage Joe?
That's my first official piece of trash talk.
Your first official piece of trash talk is, I don't know if Joe Wayman can do a backflip. Let's find out.
Yeah,
it counts. It is sort of trash talk.
I reckon he can.
I reckon he probably can. You need to get a Bryn signed up for the comms. This would be fun. I would absolutely back this. But who knows? Oh, I did do that, didn't I, Max? Yep. It's fine. Whatever. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But yeah, yellow cards with a hole in and then a whole yellow card simulating real life refereeing inconsistencies. That would be smart. That's too clever for me, though. And that means that you've got to like carry various jigsaws and things around. It feels like a bad idea.
Or just paint a bagel yellow.
And that's what we do for the catering. As many bagels as you've been gifted.
Red and yellow bagels.
There was one half idea, right? And I'm going to bounce this off you and bounce this off the chat, see if it's a good idea. Because what I'm going to be completely clear about is, hold on, I need to get a dog in some clothes and then get him out of the house. So if you could pad for a minute, that would be wonderful.
No problem. I can't actually put things on the screen here for Joe, but I can read out people's chats as they come in. J Racer saying, is the golden bagel the prize? Well, we might all be hungry after the game, to be fair. So, I mean, if a golden bagel is the prize, might hurt your teeth, but we might be all right. Danny from Not on the Leeds podcast, and I can tell it's Danny because of the joke. Jaden Bagels. I mean, look, if we could all start to have food-related Leeds footballer puns on our shirts, that might be an idea, but that might be a little bit far-fetched. Jaden Bagels. Can anyone think of any other ones? See, if I try and think of too many, I know that Danny's got some. Gary saying Kaiser Chiefs up for most things Leeds, mate. Yeah, it's just contacting people like that, isn't it? It's kind of the barrier between us and actual famous people. Joel Pero, like it, Danny. I knew you'd have more in the bank. It's to Gary's comment about Kaiser Chiefs. It's sometimes getting in contact with them because they probably would be excited to be involved, and they probably would want to have a good go at it, and it'd bring some good eyes to the event. But it's just it's just getting actually in contact with people who are actually famous, as opposed to us who just upload videos on the internet. Better be no red kits from Black Badge. I don't think there'll be any red kits. I think there'd be uproar if anyone was forced to wear a red kit, and in fact, it'd probably end up shirts and skins.
I'm back.
If it was a red kit.
What did I miss?
I'm just saying that Black Badge Askies better be no red kits. I said I think there'd be uproar if one team was forced to wear red kits and we'd end up with shirts and skins. And we've got Danny from Not on the Leeds podcast putting food puns for Leeds United footballers because we were talking about bagels. So he said Jaden Bagels, and I said,
Bagel.
what if we all had, what if we all had puns on the back of our shirts from the Leeds players?
Oh, that's a little bit too good. I like that too much.
Ramanzani.
Ramanzani's really
Danny's on fire.
That probably whose numbers? Hold on.
Oh, sorry. About, and there was also on about the Kaiser Chiefs, and I said it'd be great to have people like that involved, but sometimes there's a barrier between us who just upload videos on the internet and actual famous people.
Yeah, actual people that have actual other people that listen to them and talk to them. And
so saying it would be great to have people like that, but it's getting in contact that's the issue, isn't it?
Oh, it would be absolutely spectacular. I will let you in on one little bit of a fun fact. I had reached out to Phil Hay to see if he had an interest in taking part. And he was interested, but he can't make it because, if I remember correctly, he has a black belt, either kickboxing or taekwondo exam around that time, which I wouldn't have pictured it, but fair enough. Yeah,
we'll kick any of our butts.
If you're going to be good at anything, be good at kicking people.
You'll be good at the halftime boxing match.
You weren't meant to tell anyone about that. Yeah.
Just in the center circle, kicking lumps out of each other at halftime. This was scheduled.
Center circle sumo.
Okay.
It's genius.
Yeah, like when you have fans on the pitch in Premier League games to take penalties and things like that, you just get a couple of fans on the pitch to have a fight at halftime.
The idea for the yellow cards, by the way, I'm going to bounce this off you and the chat at the same time. And this isn't a thing that's definitely happening. This is a thing that I had half an idea for. Is and Jay Racer might know this if he watches like charity esports racing stuff. Because in that, you can pay an amount of money to give someone like a time penalty or like force them to drive through the pits. I was imagining a world in which you can pay the referee to force someone to get a yellow card, and the yellow card is some form of forfeit. Like the version that I suggested earlier was you have to win a game of rock, paper, scissors against the referee before you're allowed to start playing again. Or something along those lines.
Yeah, something to make it a little bit more fun and break up the football. Yeah. Probably give everybody else a bit of a break as well.
Maybe. So corruption. Absolutely.
So corruption then.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no world in which we were going to come out of this with zero corruption. And I did, when I was presenting the very idea, say that this is going to be one of the most transparent charity matches that we can possibly put on.
It's going to be so transparent that you aren't even going to be able to see it. You'll just be able to see through to the other side.
Yeah. And there's nothing more transparent than saying, yes, this is pay to win. It is for a trophy, but if you've got more money, well done. The entire opposite team has gotten booked.
One team or another would win the game either, does it?
Yeah. It's like, okay, so their team needs to make a human pyramid in the net, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to score.
That might stop a goal.
It might, yeah. No one make a Melier joke. Is it corruption if it's for charity? No, in that case, it's fraud? I don't know. Rock, paper, scissors, anyone old enough to remember Alex Kidd and that? Absolutely, I am not. I apologize.
No, me neither. Me and Joe are the same age, and that is off our radar.
And Jim says transparently corrupt. So, to sum everything up, charity match, 20th of July, John Charles Centre for Sport. You can be there in person, or you can watch the broadcast. If you or anyone you know runs a company that has an interest in sponsoring events such as this, ping me an email. That would be absolutely spectacular and would definitely help this to be more than... I can't phrase that. To grow and become more professional and gives it potential to sort of be sustainable beyond just this July, which would be absolutely wonderful to be able to do. Basically every Leeds creator that I could possibly think of being able to reach out to as well. I did, however, it turns out, forget to message Oscar of All Leeds TV until like a week ago. So I was like, hey, Oscar, do you fancy doing a thing? And I'm currently working on like if he wants to get chucked in the WhatsApp, but we'll find out. But yeah, that's everything.
So yeah, to that question as well of people saying who's involved, everyone's been asked. Everybody has been asked at least.
Well, everyone that I can think of. If I've forgotten a person, again, just email me. It's fine. We've got an email specifically for this purpose. It's incredibly easy. Or just message me on Twitter. I don't know. But the bigger this can be, the better it's going to be, the more money it's going to raise for Prostate Cancer UK. That'd be absolutely fantastic. You've not been asked, hey, Jim, would you like to come on over and watch a game of football? There you go. You've been asked. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. I've been me. Max has been Max. And we've been advertising a charity football match. So I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you later. Doodle. And then it doesn't end.